Our quote of the day: when you've seen women give everything and still end up depleted, choosing yourself starts to look like rebellion. All right, lady, I'm going to say that one more time for the folks in the back to make sure you heard this one. When you've seen women give everything and still end up depleted, choosing yourself starts to look like rebellion. All right, T. When you hear this quote and you think about our topic for today, what comes up for you?
Girl, I need a little more time to process this quote, so I'm gonna pass it on over to you. What do you think when you hear this?
There's a couple of things that I think about.
Yeah.
So I think about intergenerational trauma and how younger generations look to previous generations and find ways to choose themselves. And whether it's their own perception or the perceptions of those around them, it can feel rebellious. And I also think about developmentally in in our 20s, what's happening for us at that time period. That it's not until we're 25, 26 that our frontal cortex is fully developed. And so there's still a lot of transition that's happening. Your late teens or early 20s, for most of us, you're coming into adulthood. And so you're looking at the previous generations and you're critiquing the hell out of what they're doing. Because also, if let's be honest, in our 20s, we think we know everything. We think we have the answers to all the things. And so, for me, this quote makes me think about just that reflective moment, right? Of you're young, you're looking at the women who have come before you. And if the women who have come before you are doing all the things for everybody and they're depleted, why would I
Mm,
choose that?
okay.
And me not choosing that is considered rebellion.
Yeah, that is spot on, Dom. And as you were walking through that, it made me think about my life and how I watched my mom and my grandmother get partnered young, have children young, put everything into their families and into their men especially. And a lot of times they looked up and didn't have a chance to do the things they wanted to do, pursue the
Mm-hmm.
careers. They were taking care of the babies or taking care of other people, my grandmother especially. And I think about how people in the family might view me, someone who had children later, who traveled and did the things, and I might be viewed as a rebel or as selfish. And it's like, well, when you're so
Yep.
used to seeing people put everyone else first, the person who doesn't may look like a rebel. And I think the biggest message here is like being viewed as a rebel isn't always a bad thing, right? It just, you may be before
Exactly.
your time, right? You may be
Yep.
onto something. You may be a trailblazer. So yeah, I appreciate
Yes.
your insight on that. I'm excited for this conversation as well. And as we chat about this, there are just a couple things, a couple questions we want you to just keep in mind, ladies, as we have this conversation. So one is, what if the things we criticize in younger women are actually survival habits? What if, right? Just a question to consider,
Mm-hmm.
right? Another is moving fast always irresponsibility, or is it sometimes learned urgency?
Oh, and where did they learn that urgency from? Oh, oh,
Listen,
okay.
listen. Now, my favorite question though is, what does young ho energy reveal about how women relate to money, pleasure, and freedom?
Mm.
We're gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So Shall we?
So, yes, let's, set the stage.
Hmm.
Today we are talking about the young ho era, right? Not to judge it, not to glorify it, but to understand what it's revealing about young women, what it's revealing about older women, what it's truly saying about all of us. Now, lady, you're going to hear us use the word hoe multiple times throughout this episode. If that's a word that makes you uncomfortable, then perhaps today's episode might not be for you. Now that we've got that disclaimer out the way, if you don't know what the young ho trend is, that has taken over social media in this early part of 2026, lady, well, you might be an old ho. And I
Like
say that with
us.
love. I say that with love because I'm an old hoe. All right.
Listen, we old hoes
let's
over
let's
here.
let's do it. Okay. Let's talk about it. So the young hoe versus old hoe trend is something that went viral in early 2026. And it's meant to be a lighthearted comparison about differing lifestyles between those under 25 versus everybody else. And its emphasis really is on this shift from high convenience, chaotic, and hurried habits to more seasoned, structured approaches to life. It's not strictly about sexual behavior, but rather it's a commentary on how young women prioritize their limited time, energy, and mental health over traditional domestic expectations. So let's get into it.
Yes. Let's get into it. And also, one thing we want to note, like, this is all in jest, right? Like, we're going to be talking about a lot of this in a very facetious way, but also there's a lot that we can learn from younger women and a lot that younger women can learn from older women. So we just want to put it out there. It's all for play. Don't take anything too seriously. And this episode is really for women who are watching younger women and they're thinking, girl, what is you doing? Like, what is she over there doing? Why is she doing that? Right? The women who side eye the late dinners, the $15 gas fill up, right? Cooking everything on high heat, the impulse purchasing, right, or spending, the soft life language. And the thing is, many of us may have done that too when we were young hoes, but this is what it's for, right? This is why we're having this conversation.
Yeah, I think it's important to focus from a place of understanding and not
Hmm.
superiority, right?
Yeah.
So because the reality is every generation of women is responding to something,
Yes.
whatever the cultural zeitgeist is in that moment. The 20 somethings are responding to it based on where they are developmentally. And those of us who are older, who have more life experience, are responding to the same cultural moments differently because we have more life experience and different life experiences. So, the thing that we want to think about is that older women learn survival through sacrifice. Younger women are trying to survive through expansion. So, one group of women, because it's multiple generations,
Yeah.
learn to shrink. The other is trying to take up space. And maybe, just maybe, we're all trying to answer the same question. How do I live well without losing myself?
Mm.
Now, I'm going to say that question one more time.
Yes.
And, lady, I want you to turn everything else off around you to hear this question again. We're all trying to answer, how do I live well without losing myself? All right. So today
It was so good.
we're unpacking this young Ho era. And like Terry pointed out, some of the things that we're pointing out that we're discussing will seem lighthearted, but also there are lessons to be learned. And you know how we do. We're going to give you some things to think about, some tips, some strategies. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay, so should we just jump right into Young Ho Bingo?
Let's do it.
Okay, now do you have it pulled up on your end, Dom? Because I just pulled it up so I could see here. So I
Yes,
got it
let
pulled
me
up.
get
So,
it pulled
lady,
up.
okay, go ahead, get it pulled up. And lady, we're just gonna read off some of these and just whatever connects with you, right? We're gonna call off a couple things. And the thing is, some of us have some young ho proclivities, even though we old hoes, okay? So it's really not an age thing, right? It's just like I think it's a lifestyle, it's a mentality type of thing. Okay, so let me know when you're ready, Dom.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the first one here is one big load of laundry. If that's you, do you separate your clothes or are you putting everything? Everything is going in. You putting whites with the lights and the darks, everything. Let's see. Look at your face. I'm old school. My mama taught
Okay.
me to you got to separate your clothes. I separate the whites from the darks and the lights. I still do that. So
Exactly.
definitely old hoe energy.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And I was doing that as a young hoe.
Same.
Like
Yeah.
I was not, that was no,
Yeah.
no.
And it all goes back to experience, right? Like what were you taught? But also like if you're in this fast era and we're living, rent is high these days.
Mm-hmm.
People they like trying to, especially if you got the in-unit washer and dryer, like I'm trying to save money, or even if you're at the laundromat, I'm trying to save money. So they put everything in there. I get it. But we were just taught a different thing. That's all. We were taught a different way.
I don't get
Um,
it because I'm gonna be mad if my white clothes is stained. But
oh yeah, see,
okay,
never the white clothes.
okay,
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
My
Girl.
apologies, young hoes, because I had a little judgment in my response. So I'm gonna dial that back, and yeah, let's go on to the next one.
We're gonna read these off. We'll comment on some of them, not all of them, but some of these are hilarious. Okay, so the next one is preheating is optional. Now, I don't know. How do you feel about that one?
We need some cooking lessons. If preheating is optional for you, we need some cooking lessons.
Trying to think, do I preheat? Tell me, what does preheat look like? Are you talking about when you're baking or when you're? No, I
Yeah.
guess I do preheat. No, you're right. Or if I put it on the stove. No, no, let me stop playing. Yeah, yeah, I preheat. Okay.
Because also for me, when I'm preheating,
Hmm.
that's prep time. So
Yeah.
if we're talking about saving time, young hoes, here's a lesson. If we're talking about if time is money and we're trying to maximize our time, that 30 minutes that you spent prepping and then you chose to skip the preheats, you could have been preheating while you were prepping. It happens at the same time. It's okay. Let's try it and let us know how that works out for you.
That'd be hilarious. Okay, number three is starting the day at 1 p.m., which I love that. Like if I could start every day at 1 p.m., I probably wouldn't. I'd probably wake up like 10, but still, it sounds amazing to start your day at 1 p.m.
See, but
personally.
here's the thing. The fact that you
What?
said that you would still start your day at 10 a.m. says that you in for this example, you are not
Yeah.
you are an old hoe.
But listen, I'm definitely an old hoe. But look, when I say 1 p.m., okay, what I'm thinking of when I say start your day, it doesn't mean waking up. It means like interacting with humans. So like if I could have a couple hours to just do
Yeah,
me and be in the house, that's how I'm envisioning. And maybe that's an old hoe definition, but that's just what I'm
it
envisioning when I say start
is.
my day.
It is.
That's what I mean.
Because the young hoes out here starting the day at 1 p.m. means you were getting up out the bed at 1 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Chances are that also meant that you probably went to bed at 6 a.m. So
I
when the rest
tried,
of us
y'all.
old hoes are waking up at 6 a.m., they are just going to bed. And so
I
I think
tried.
that's the difference. Now, when I
Mm-hmm.
was in my 20s, for those days, that was great.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
In my old hoe era,
Mm-mm.
1 o'clock, half my day is gone. There are so many things that I could have gotten done. Now the grocery stores are crowded. Listen, I'm
Oh,
embodying
yeah.
old hoe energy. All right, let's do this. What's the next one?
Okay, I'm gonna read off a couple, Dom. Just stop me when there's one you want to comment on. So we got doom
Okay.
scroll before skincare, freezing cold bedroom, $15 of gas every time. That's
Now
hilarious.
listen, now
That's
listen.
hilarious. But look,
I used to do that back in the day, despite I remember my grandfather telling me,
hmm
don't let your gas get past a quarter of a tank.
yeah,
And when you stop for gas, you fill up.
yes.
And if you don't have enough money to fill up your tank, you don't need to be driving. That's what I was
Oh,
told.
that's what he said.
That's what I was told.
He was on to something.
So, and because the reality is, you actually are spending more when you
hmm
do those $15 in the tank. That's it. That's
hmm
it. That's all. You're actually spending more money.
There you go.
So you might as well fill it up. And at the time that we're recording this episode, gas is high as hell. So you might as well fill it up and be intentional about where you go and how much gas you're using. But again, I
This is
get it.
true.
In my 20s, it was like, okay, I got how much money do I have this week?
Listen,
How
okay.
much needs to go towards gas? How much do I actually need to put in the tank to get
hmm
me through the next 3 days when I can get
Yep.
another $15 here? So yeah, I get it.
Yes. And how much I need on snacks. Now, lady, if you're listening and you are over Young Ho Bingo, just stick with us or fast forward. We're going to dive into what older women can learn from younger women and what younger women can learn from older women in just a bit. And we think that that's going to be a really rich conversation, but we're having a lot of fun doing this. So we're going to hang out here for a
Yes.
little bit longer and then we're going to move on to those other segments. Okay. So the next one here is cooking on high heat. Now, even as someone who does cook, I like to cook. When I read this one, it did something in my spirit because I was like, oh shit, I be cooking a lot of stuff on high heat. I just put that thing up to 8, 9. It's like, girl, you don't need to do all that. So I know. What you be doing over there, dog? Look at your face.
I might initially start
Mm-hmm.
to get to, because that's also like part of like kind of preheating on the stove,
Preheating.
right? Like
There
if
you
you
go.
if I'm putting some butter or some oil in the pan, then
Mm-hmm.
I might initially for that first minute, and then once I feel that it's starting to heat up, I adjust. I
Mm-hmm.
can't
Yeah.
cooking everything on high heat might cook it faster but might not cook it well.
Oh, the middle may not be done. Mm-hmm.
Right? And so you
Yeah.
want your meal to be done well,
Yeah.
not done.
And now that you say that, I think that's actually what I do. I start it off there and then I tweak it as I go. So that's a good point. But cooking it on
Mm-hmm.
high heat throughout the whole thing is a little crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how
Closing out
pots get
after,
burned.
that's how they get burnt. Okay. Closing out after each drink. I'm not a big drinker, so I will be the person that does that. What are your thoughts? Look at your face.
If the agree, okay, so here are the
hmm
circumstances in which I think that that makes sense.
hmm
If you are the person who has left your card at the bar or the club before,
Oh,
then yeah, close out after each drink.
that card.
If you're with a group of people and everybody is taking turns buying rounds, close out after your round. If you are intentionally trying to limit how much you are drinking, have one round, close it out, and be done. Outside of that, what are we doing? I don't understand it. I might need to have a conversation with a couple of young hosts to understand this concept. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Okay, so the next one is, can I use Apple Pay? And let me just tell you, when I tell you, right, let's talk about it, y'all. I am definitely an old hoe because when I go to the store, you know how you can now tap your card? As a
Mm-hmm.
techie, as someone who's in tech, working in Silicon Valley, Dom,
You
I
don't
feel
tap your
so old.
card?
Girl, I do, but I be like, wait, where do I tap it? Oh, I do it. Where? Like, I need a cane, girl. So I be tapping in the wrong spot. But you know what? When I was when I was out in these streets with the YNs, I noticed that they would always be doing the, oh, you take Apple Pay. I'm like, they take Apple Pay at the
They would do
grocery
it on
store
their
at the
watch
stores?
too.
Girl, I'm
Yeah.
like, what over
Hmm.
my head. So yeah, definitely I don't I don't do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
here's my card. Like I still got my checkbook. I'm definitely like,
Oh, you still got a checkbook.
it's digital now, but like, yeah,
Oh,
I be
okay. Oh,
balancing
okay.
everything
Okay.
out.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
So
All
on to the
right.
next.
Yes.
Boiling hot showers.
I might.
There's no other way.
Yeah, I like a hot shower. Like I'm not
Scalding
okay.
hot. Satan be up in that shower with me. Like it's
Now I
scalding
don't
hot.
need that. No, I'm not trying to burn my skin off. I can't
I
do
be
it that
burning
hot,
my
but I need it
skin.
hot. I need the steam. Yes, I need the steam to be rising,
Hmm.
but I'm not trying to burn my skin off. I remember one year
Hmm.
I I think I was in my young ho era,
Yeah.
and I ended up like I called my mom and because she's a nurse, and I was like, what is going on with my skin? Is there something wrong with this? Because I was living on my own, like living in an
Yeah.
apartment and with a couple of roommates. I'm in college at the time, and I'm like, what is wrong with my skin? Like it's itchy and it's
Oh
ashy,
my gosh. Oh,
and
not ashy.
I'm putting on lotion. And my mom asks, so one, are you putting on lotion right after you get out the shower?
Hmm.
And two, how hot is the water in the
Oh,
shower? And I was like, oh, like
that's
that
it.
was like an epiphany
What?
because I was taking hot ass showers and burning
Oh,
my skin,
oh my
irritating
goodness.
my skin.
Irritating.
And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I need to turn this down just a little. And so I learned that lesson early on in my young ho era of
Mm,
we can have hot showers, but it doesn't need to be boiling hot.
yeah. Girl, you saying that just made me think about doing an episode on just some skincare lifestyle hacks that we have, like for our body, just, caring for ourselves, maintenance, I
Yes.
guess, personal maintenance. So, yeah, that's making a mental note. But that is so interesting. You're like, why is my skin doing this? Okay. Next one, iced coffee year round, putting every gift in a bag, putting every gift in a bag. So, wait, I know that's common. Okay, wait, I'm thinking, so when I give someone a gift, I put
Mm-hmm.
all the gifts in a bag and I put the tissue paper in. They're putting each gift in one bag to make it look like it's more, I guess. I don't know. For
You
social
know,
media to post
okay, so
pictures.
you know how when we give a gift and
Hmm.
it may be multiple items, we
Hmm.
might wrap each item
Hmm.
and put it in one bag.
Okay.
Or maybe what they are doing. Actually, you know what? I don't know. This is one. Listen, y'all, we don't know for sure.
We don't know. Let
Somebody
us
let us
know.
know in the comments what
Yeah.
this one is, because
Yeah.
clearly, because we don't know, we are not in the young ho era for this one. All
Exactly.
right.
The last thing I was thinking is instead of wrapping the gifts, you put like everything, stuff that don't even need to go in a bag, you put it in a bag. That's the other thing I was thinking. But let us know because we know. All right, next one. 30-second plus 30-second on microwave. Music loud as fuck. Just stop me.
Okay, so let
Mm,
me stop you on these
which one?
last two because I think I might
Which one?
actually do these sometimes.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, well, no, not to the extent that they do.
Yeah.
Because the plus 30 seconds on the microwave is that's how they start, and they just keep hitting plus 30 plus 30 plus 30
Oh,
till they get to their time. I might put something on for 2 minutes,
yeah.
and then a few seconds into it, I just hit another 30 just cause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My music, when I'm in my car,
Yes, loud
I
as
like
fuck.
my music loud as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
same. Although when I back up, I do turn that shit down.
See, I got the
You don't turn
cameras.
it
I don't
down
have
when
to
you
turn
back.
it down.
Girl,
More
I
because I
need it
got cameras.
silent. Silent. Or if a police officer is nearby and I see him, I just turn it down. Girl, it's just little
Oh,
things.
yeah,
I'm just
there's
like,
certain
oh,
things that, yeah,
yeah, I just need to be able to
yeah.
hear. I need to be able to see and hear, even though,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So
Yep,
that's the
yep.
thing.
You're right. You're
Also,
right.
lady, if you're tuning into the audio of this, you know we on YouTube now, right? Go to YouTube and you can see the visual of the video. And if you on YouTube, leave us a comment below if you're watching. Okay. Next one. Never folding clothes. I
What the
can't.
hell?
I cannot because then my clothes are gonna be wrinkled. And then also I was ingrained, it was ingrained in me to fold clothes and put them in the
Yes, to
drawer
fold
neatly
them.
when I was
Yes,
younger. Yeah.
exactly.
So we fold clothes.
Yeah, we fold clothes.
Late dinner always,
Absolutely not.
unfortunately.
No,
I don't want to, but I end up doing it.
no,
I know. Sweet treat every day.
no.
Why not? Hell yeah. Chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. I'm trying to get better though, because I'm getting old. All right, next one. Not warming your car up. Girl. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that as much in
Well, see,
California.
we don't have to worry about that as much. And newer cars these days,
Mm-hmm.
you have if a newer car, if you have a car that has automatic start or remote start,
Mm-hmm.
you can be inside and start that car
Oh,
up
that's true. That's
to
true.
warm it up. So why you not if you have that, because not all cars have that. My car don't
Yeah.
have that. Um,
Yeah.
if you have a vehicle that has that, why
Mm-hmm.
are you not? But also newer cars warm up a whole lot faster than the cars from back in the day. So
Girl, remember
I might give the
that?
young hoes a pass on that.
That shit used to be the worst. I remember being from the East Coast, growing up in Philly, the winters, I was definitely the young hoe who was like, I'm just gonna start the car and we driving off. No, it's terrible for your car, girl. I'm talking about fog on the damn windows.
Oof.
Yeah, it was a bad situation, but I was in a rush. I was trying to move fast like the young hoes. And so, yeah, not good.
That's
Next one
and it's
is,
really not good in the summertime
what you
in the
mean?
South, in the deep South. So they're
Hmm.
talking, this example talks about not warming the car up. In
Yeah.
the South, it gets hella hot. So you talking like 90 something degrees with humidity.
Hmm.
Your windows need to be cracked just a little bit so you can get some air circulating in your car so your car is
Yeah.
not hot as shit when you get
Yes.
in there. Because
Yeah.
now you burning up. So
Oh,
yeah.
I got
Yep.
time. And
Okay.
now waiting for the
All right.
AC to get cold. Okay, next. Nails as tongs. Your nails long as tongs. I love the look. I love the aesthetic. It looks so cute. I tried that shit and almost broke my thumb off. I was in the tub one time, Dom, and my thumb got stuck underneath the tub stopper. And I
Oof.
said, never again. That's what I get for
Oof.
trying to be a young girl. I can't. They look so good, but I can't.
It's absolutely not. And you know me and germs. Why
Mm,
are you using your all right, nah, it's a no. Even
it's a
with my
no.
long nails, like, and my nails aren't like that, like
Yeah,
super long. Like this is
I
probably
wish.
they probably gonna get cut after this, like this next
Yeah.
trip to the nail salon, because this is the most for me.
This next one. Think about college days. It says no jacket, but liquor coat. Baby, that was us in college, okay? No jacket, but
Listen,
that liquor kept us warm because we had to be cute
supposedly,
with our fits
right?
on,
Supposedly,
supposedly.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I
I
remember my mom used to be like,
remember
what?
standing outside in Atlanta, 22 degrees,
Mm,
and wearing a dress that you should be wearing in the summertime.
mm-hmm.
Toes
Shiver.
out, arms out, everything out,
Yep.
and yep, yep.
Yeah. My mama
Young ho
said, don't be
days.
too cute to put a coat on, but we didn't. Okay, this
And
one
they
says
had coat
TikTok is
check,
Google. They had coach. Oh,
but
damn.
it would
Yeah.
ruin the coat would ruin the aesthetic of the outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yeah.
just stand outside shivering.
Cold.
Okay.
I hope you don't get sick. All right, we got three left, and then we're going to jump into segment two here. So this one says TikTok is Google. No, not for, oh, okay, for the young hoes, yes. I would say for the old hoes, it's ChatGPT now, ChatGPT and Google. But I don't really use TikTok for Google.
Listen, no.
No.
Information don't be
Yeah.
correct. There's so much
Yes.
misinformation these days.
So true.
Ooh, okay. You know, what happened to the days of the Encyclopedia Britannica
Okay.
that got delivered once a year and
Mm.
information wasn't fully updated? Listen, I'm not that we don't need to go back to that, but TikTok as your Google? No, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. Mm-mm. Okay.
Okay, so the last two, we just gonna put them together. Using hella paper towels and never ironing clothes. Oh boy. Okay, let's talk about it. What? What?
If you are living on your own, young ladies, or living in a dorm room, wherever, you're not living in your parents' house no more. Or hell, if you are still living in your parents' house, especially if you're still living in your parents' house, stop using hella paper towels. This is what dish towels are for. This is what regular towels are for. There are a plethora of different types of towels that you can use so that you are not wasting paper towels. I'm going to hop off my old whole soapbox. Go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is a paper towel hate to see me coming. Because now that I buy them, it's different. But there's something just different about wiping stuff with a way. It's just you just pull it down and it's something about the experience of just pulling the paper towel down and using it and not having to clean everything. But I have dish towels as well. So it's just that's something that stuck with
Yeah.
me from my young Ho days. But that one, and then never ironing clothes. So the thing about this one, right? I grew up. Let me just tell you this funny story real quick, Dom. So I remember when I went to college, like I grew up ironing clothes. Like my mom, we had spray starch. Okay, we
Yes,
had
us
creases in
too.
our clothes. We had
I don't even
creases.
know if they really said it. You're hard pressed to find starch in the stores these
Yes,
days.
right. I mean, your pants could stand up by themselves. You put them up. We use that. I remember when I went to a PWI, right, predominantly white institution for a college. Girl, I remember I moved in and brought my ironing board, and this white boy was like, "What's that?" And I was like, you
Listen,
don't know what an ironing board is, sir? But I mean, it's different it's
different.
different for
Yeah.
everybody. But yeah, we grew up ironing. But the thing is, I don't really iron that much these days. I do have a steamer, but I'll usually only iron if it's like a special occasion or if it's like hella wrinkly. But I feel like my clothes, they just fit a certain way where they don't really, you can't see all the wrinkles, but I don't really care as much unless it's like a special occasion, which feels so foreign. Like,
I have a steamer
yeah, do you use it
and I use it
often?
often,
Okay.
multiple
If you go
times a
to the
week.
office, I'm sure.
I'm using even on like today. I didn't go to the office today. I
You
steamed.
steamed
I,
it?
I hit the steamer on this shirt real quick because it was a little too
Really?
wrinkled and I knew it was going to be on camera. So I hit.
Okay.
I
Let me see. I
now
mean, it ain't wrinkled like that.
nah, your
Uh-huh.
jacket ain't wrinkled, but like even. But also, I think for me growing up, my mom raised us from how she was raised in terms of like my grandfather was in the military and things had to be a certain military precision, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so I grew up knowing how to iron. So in college, in grad school, living on my own, always had to have an iron. I have a
Mm-hmm.
travel iron that I put in my suitcase in case I am in a situation where I end up with wrinkled clothes as
Yeah.
I'm traveling because I don't like being in wrinkled clothes. But
Mm-hmm.
that's my preference.
Yeah, I love it. You go ahead now. You certified. You got the travel. I got the mini one now, but that I love that you have a travel one. I need to see that. So this was Young Ho Bingo. This, I think the deeper meaning here for this little activity that we did is that these aren't just habits, right? It's a lifestyle built around speed, right? It's about
Mm-hmm.
convenience, access, the now. And this isn't just a trend, right? It's a relationship with urgency. And when you think about it, I know may have sounded judgmental on some of them and we can relate to others, but when you think about people moving in this way, can you blame them, right? Think about the times
Yeah,
that we're in and how people are adjusting to how the world is. I think the microwave mentality has been, I mean, I thought there was a microwave mentality when we were younger, but it's
right.
even faster now. I mean, the attention spans of people, social media and hooks and how we get attention. And so, anything else you want to add there, Don, before we jump into segment two?
No, I think it's important for us to move to understanding what we as older women can learn from the younger women, right?
Yes.
So, for me, I think about, while yes, we made fun of a lot of the things that young hoes do. The reality is that there are a lot of other ways in which they are moving that our generations, older generations, didn't necessarily think was an option,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I think sometimes some of this is coming from a space of not understanding or maybe even a little envy
Mm-hmm.
around young women being able to move so freely in
Yeah.
ways that as older women we weren't able to, right?
Yes.
So the first lesson that I think that we can take away from our younger women is permission to choose yourself. That younger women are way less apologetic about centering themselves. I think about our generations, like older women, women over 25, over 30,
Mm-hmm.
and how a lot of us were raised that choosing yourself, putting you first is selfish and wrong. And the younger generation is like, what? Absolutely not. Choosing
Yeah.
yourself is what you all should be doing, right?
Okay.
And the takeaway for us is that self sacrifice is not the only path to love, whether
Mm.
that's love from our family, whether that's love from our friends or romantic partner or our bosses, whoever it is. Us constantly being in a space of self sacrificing is not the thing that's going to get us the love we're looking for.
That is so good. And I feel like it reminds me or it takes me back to what I shared earlier about watching my mom and my grandmother, especially, and seeing how their life panned out or what they were able to do based on how they chose to show up and what they thought was available, right? Let's be honest, because it wasn't the norm to choose yourself then. And a lot of the young women, I believe, might be looking at older women and being like, oh, wait, they did this, 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 and that's how it turned out. Oh, no, I'm doing something different. And I think a lot of us were taught
Right.
that love meant depletion, right?
Yeah.
That us, doing for others, right? They were taught that, I guess I'm trying to figure out how to word it properly, that they equated suffering with virtue. Like you were viewed
Yeah.
as virtuous and worthy of love if you suffered,
Being a
if you
martyr. Mm-hmm.
yeah, being a martyr, right? And I'm thinking back to
Yep.
those times, and it's like I remember times my grandmother would do
Absolutely
so much for
not.
everyone,
Oof.
and she would be so depleted, and no one would come to rescue her when she needed rescue. And I'm just like, that just it didn't make sense to me, you know? And
Yeah.
so the thing about it is, if you're always taught to be the helper, choosing yourself can feel like betrayal. And going back to what we said earlier, you can be viewed as the rebel because you're doing something different. When in all actuality, we should be choosing ourselves and we should be giving
Yep.
ourselves permission to do it. And I think that now that so many people are doing that, especially young women, I believe, from my perspective, at least in my experience, it's something we can learn from them. And because so many people are doing it, we can normalize that, like women choosing themselves over
Yes.
everyone else.
Yes.
We got to fill our
Yep.
cups. All right.
All right.
Anything
So
else now?
then
Number two?
that takes us to number two.
Let's do it.
So detachment as protection. So what young women tend to be doing in this particular scenario is they're not over investing too early,
Mm-hmm.
right? The lesson that we can take away from that is that emotional boundaries are not always about being cold.
Yeah.
Emotional boundaries are not about being disrespectful or ugly, right? That it's okay to recognize that, okay, this situation, this person is no longer serving me or doesn't even look like it has the potential to serve me. So I'm backing out.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to stay in it, but I am going to proceed cautiously. So I might have a few walls up
Mm-hmm.
to not engage as much, to kind of wait and see how things unfold, to protect myself from potential harm.
Yeah. I love that. And I think detachment can also, this one can also be viewed through the lens of like career and opportunities in
Mm-hmm.
general. So you apply for something and you're not obsessive about it. You're like, okay, cool. Like if I don't get it, there's another opportunity for me out there as well. And you're not yeah, I guess obsessive is the word I'm thinking of. You're not obsessed with it because you're detached. If it's for me, it'll come to me and you're not really sweating it. And I think sometimes detachment can also be wisdom, even though people can think that it is dysfunction, right?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
All
So then that
right.
takes us to number three, owning desire without shame, right? And desire is not only about sex, desire is about being, for young women, being vocal about what they want in terms of money, standards, and pleasure, right?
Hmm.
The lesson that we can take away from that as older women is that silence has never and will never guarantee respect.
Mm.
Our silence usually ends up with us not getting the things that we want, and then we're resentful and
Yeah.
miserable. Now, we can sit back and judge all we want, but if a young woman out here is saying she wants her partner to make X amount of dollars, and she has certain standards for how her partner presents themselves, and she expects certain things, and she's very specific about the things that she wants that'll bring her
Hmm.
pleasure, and again, not just pleasure in the bedroom but in life in general, she could not get it, but she also can get it. Closed
Hmm.
mouths don't get fed.
Yes. I love this one so much too, John, because I think, both of us, I'm curious to see what you think about this having younger siblings, but it's funny because my younger siblings, they always remind me that I'm an old hoe. Not, they don't call me a hoe, but they always say like, you're just so old. And it's so funny because I watch my younger sisters, they are way more outspoken than I was at that age. And they have like they have the energy of what we're talking about today. And I think that many of us were taught that, you know, you were raised to like minimize our standards or minimize our needs, right? So that we'd be easier to deal with, or we'd be easier to love, or people would accept us more. And I feel like nowadays they don't give a fuck. It's like I accept myself, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
love that. And I love that we're getting more vocal about our needs. We've even talked about it on the podcast when it comes to pleasure and other aspects of
yes,
life. Like wanting more does not make you high maintenance. And there's nothing wrong with being high maintenance.
exactly, exactly, because there's somebody out there who is willing to give you those things.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't ask for it, you'll
Exactly.
never get it. Versus
Mm-hmm.
you might have to ask 5 times, but eventually you will get it.
Yeah.
So then that takes us to our last lesson of what older women can learn from younger women: experimentation and identity. So this is about the willingness to try, to fail, to pivot, and to do it all publicly, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they are not worried to the same extent that we have been worried as older women about the need to only portray perfection and success, right?
Yes.
That, but also they are exploring and trying new things more. Whereas the lesson for us as older women to take away is that it's okay to do these things. For us as older women, some of us were never allowed to explore.
Yeah.
The expectation was that you got it perfect on the very first try. And if you didn't, then that's it. That's all.
Hmm.
And something was wrong with you if you didn't.
Yeah. And I think this one, like all of them, has a lot to do with where society is today and the changes that
Yeah.
have occurred in society. Because I was thinking about how even when, and I know everything here is not sexually, but I'm thinking about experimentation, like sexually. I feel like it's a lot more
Mm-hmm.
accepted now versus back in the day where you had to keep everything top secret or deny certain parts of yourself. You couldn't even
Yes.
experiment and explore, like, oh, is this for me? And so I think that's definitely available now. But even with careers, whether you change, you can have nowadays, you can have 5 different jobs in like a span of couple years. And not to say that that's what we're shooting for, but you're open to experimentation and seeing what's a good fit for
Yes.
you, which I think is really important. So you can know, okay, I tried this out. I don't like it. Let me find something that aligns more with me. And I think older women didn't often have the luxury to fail in public, which is so normal
Right.
to fail.
Right. Right.
So,
Okay. So now let's move on to what the young hoes can learn from the old hoes.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is discernment over aesthetics.
Oh, Lord.
You know, in the age of social media, everything is focused on the aesthetic, right? That your new apartment needs to look a certain way. People are paying, I have seen where people are paying thousands of dollars
Mm,
to decorate dorm rooms. Yep. Thousands of dollars to decorate dorm rooms for a certain aesthetic.
mm,
The thing that young women can learn from this is that not everything that looks good is safe for you.
mm-hmm.
It might not be safe for you. It might not be right for you.
Yes.
The need for discernment is huge.
Mm-hmm. What is the old Hope proverb? Is it everything that glitters ain't gold or something like that? That's
Oh,
what
yes,
that's
that's a
what we used
good
to say
one.
back in the day.
Yes,
But also like
yes.
sometimes red flags wear nice clothes. I'm thinking about relationships right now, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember I was dating this guy. He was like tall, dark, and handsome. He looked really good, and people saw us together and be like, "Oh, you guys look so good together." That makes me cringe when people say that because I get it. Like you can look
Mm-hmm.
nice together, but it can be a terrible relationship, right? And it wasn't a
And you
good. It
end
wasn't.
up staying
Yes, because oh, they
because
look good.
everybody's praising you. Yep.
Yes. Look at the pictures. Look at y'all. Oh, he looks like this. And so I think people get so stuck on the aesthetics these days, whether it's
Yes.
the job, how it appears, right? Whether it's the,
Hmm.
like you said, the dorm room or the home or even the partner. It's like we got to get
Yes.
below the surface to see what's really there, what's the substance there, because aesthetics can only take you but so far.
Only but so far. Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lord.
Now, this next one. Our young hoes. Let's y'all gotta start thinking long term. I please. Okay. So, and this is particularly in regards to your choices around money, love, and your self worth. So ask yourself, is this thing that I'm doing sustainable or is it just satisfying right now?
Mm.
And again, that goes for your love life, that goes for your career, that goes for the people you're hanging around, that goes for how you're spending your money. And I get that at your age, under 25, there is a certain level of I'm going to live forever, right? If you want to live forever, though, there are certain things that you need to start in your young ho era, good
Mm.
habits to start in your young ho era that will carry you through till you're 80, 90 plus.
That is so true. Those habits start young. I mean, I'm thinking skincare. I'm thinking about the habits of
Mm-hmm.
working out or just taking care of your body, health and wellness. A lot of that starts when you're in your 20s and then it makes it easier when you get older. But the thing about it too is like impulse can feel empowering in the moment, but a lot of times, like you said, you can make decisions and you're not thinking about forever. You don't have forever in mind. I remember
Right.
now, I used to always ask myself, like, what is 80-year-old Terry going to think about this? Like, just to slow myself down, like, how will I feel about this
Yes.
decision
That's a
in
great way to
10 to
look at
20
it.
years?
Mm-hmm.
And that question alone has definitely stopped me from making certain decisions where I was like, you know what? Probably won't like that I said that or that I did
Yep.
this at that age. So let me just chill. Not all the time, but a lot of times it
But
did serve
sometimes,
me.
yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So then that takes us to our next one, emotional depth and accountability. All right. You know, I what I'll give our young hoes credit for is that they are in therapy.
Yeah.
They are doing, most of them are doing the work or willing to do the work.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that they can learn from older generations is that as you're working to heal the patterns, as you're working to fix yourself, fixing yourself is not about aesthetics, right? It's not about being, I'm going to therapy because everybody else is going, that's what's trending, right?
Hmm.
That I'm going to therapy to truly heal patterns, that I'm also taking perspective, that I am not, and so, and I will, I will say that some of this is developmental for them, but
Mm.
I'm not looking at everything that happened to me and turning it all towards anger, as anger,
Yeah.
right? That you're taking the time to really dig deep, to give some of that grace and compassion that you're expecting others to give you, you're giving it to other people, right? And that you're not doing this work again for the sake of aesthetics
Yeah.
or to run away from finding attachments to people.
Mm. That is so good. And when you think about it too, accountability is a part of self-respect, and it can really
Mm-hmm.
enhance your relationship with yourself and your relationship with others. And sometimes the lesson isn't them, it's really your pattern
You.
or our pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, how do I keep ending up in this same, how do I keep getting attracting the same exact person, but in different uniform or in a different
Yeah.
body? Like, how is this happening? It's like we gotta look at ourselves and take accountability. And so I think that's really, really important as well.
Yes. And so then that takes us to our last thing that our young women can learn from us older women is it's about your self-worth is beyond external validation, right? So you are not what you extract from other people. You are not what everyone else is saying about you. Your real power, your worth comes from inside. I think about being in my 40s now. And one of the things that I heard older women saying before I got to 40 was that, girl, when you get once you hit 40, you have no fucks to give.
Mm,
And there is something, a level of freedom that comes from being hitting 40. And there's a level of comfort, confidence, like within myself,
mm,
that feels freeing, that I didn't have at 24, 25.
mhm,
And and so I think that that is something that if I had had that at 24, 25, certain things would be different in my life today. And I think that is a real lesson that younger women can take, is that you your worth truly comes from within. So when you were doing that inner work, that's what matters.
yeah, that is so spot on, Dom. And I couldn't agree more. As I'm knocking on the door, I'm almost there, girl. I'm about to be up there with you. I'm knocking on the door of the 40s. And I feel like I've heard some of that same feedback and looking back on those, oh, I'm so happy I'm not in my 20s and just in like the teens and 20s. That was such a
Hmm.
intense period, but I think about just all that I learned from relationships and life happening and all the things. And
Yes.
one of the biggest lessons I learned was that my relationship with myself is the most important relationship, like prioritizing that,
Yes.
not losing myself in any relationship or career, and like not just saying, oh, I'm in a relationship with myself, but like holding space to be with you so that you can build
Yes.
that internal validation so that you don't
Hmm.
need a like on social media. You don't need a wagon on your phone. You don't need whatever it might be that you think you need outside of yourself to fill your cup. I think that has been one of
Yes.
the most important lessons. So like you said, Dom, if I would have knew and had the confidence and comfort that I have now back then, things would have been, I wouldn't have made certain decisions. I might be in
Yep.
a different space in life, but I'm grateful for all of those experiences and it brought
Yes.
us here. And lady, we hope that you got some value out of our fun conversation about young hoes and old hoes, and we're able to get some of the wisdom through the jokes and the fun talk that we had. All right, so I guess we're gonna wrap up, y'all. We're gonna head on over to the after show so you can catch us on Patreon. Visit herspacepodcast.com. Click anywhere you see Patreon to catch the behind the scenes, the after show. And again, if you are listening, go check us out on YouTube, girl. We want to see you over there so you can see us record the episode. And if you're on YouTube, we appreciate you. Comment below if you took anything away from the conversation. And we're gonna head on over to the after show.